19th of December 2021, Madhuban, Avyakt BapDada, Om Shanti. Revise, 13th of December 1989. The Murli's title is The Lines of Fortune of the Divine Brahmin Birth. Today, BapDada, the creator of the world, is seeing all his children of the world in the form of human souls. Among all the souls, that is, among all the children, there are two types of children. One type is those who recognize the Father, and the other is those who call out to Him and are trying to recognize Him. However, all are His children. So today, Baba is seeing both types of children. Out of all the children, there are very few who recognize and meet Baba, whereas there are many who are trying to recognize him. A line of elevated fortune is shining on the forehead of the children who recognize Baba. The most elevated line of fortune is the divine Brahmin birth received from the Father. The line of the divine birth is sparkling very brightly. The children who call out without any knowledge believe that God has created them, but because they do not know Him, they are unable to experience the divine birth. You say that BapDada has given you your divine birth, and they too say that God created them. God is the creator, and God is the one who is the sustainer. However, there is so much difference in what they say and what you say. You say from experience, intoxication, and knowledge that BapDada, that is the mother and father, created you, that is, he gave you your Brahmin birth. You know the creator, your birth, your horoscope, the method and success of your divine birth. Each one of you remembers the day of your divine birthday. Do you not? What is the speciality of this divine birth? Souls with ordinary birth celebrate their birthdays, their education days, and their friends' days separately. What would you say? For you, your birthday, marriage day, and day of education are the same. Whether you call it Mother's Day, Father's Day, the engagement day, or whatever you wish to call it, it is the same day. Have you ever heard of such a divine birth? Throughout the entire cycle, your souls never have another day like this. In the golden age, too, you will not have the same marriage, means wedding day and birthday. But this is the speciality and uniqueness of this great birth in this confluence age. In fact, the day that you became a Brahmin is your birthday and also your marriage day, because of you make the promise. Mine is the one Father and none other. This is the determined thought you have from the start. Is it not? I eat with only you. I sit with you. I fulfill all relationships with you. This is the promise that all of you made. Is it not? You Pandavas, mothers, and Kumaris have also made this promise. Have you not? So your mind cannot go anywhere else, even in your dreams. Are you firm to this extent, or do you need a companion? Do you need a special companion to do service? So, for whom would you celebrate the day of companionship? Will you celebrate the day of companionship of the serviceable companion, or of the Father being your companion? Whether someone gives service or takes service at the same time of doing service, do that service and then become so detached and loving that there is not the slightest feeling of obligation. Those who help you in doing service, whether a brother or a sister, would be a special, would they not? Those who do special service would have a special right to. So be service companions, but be companions in the stage of being observers. When you forget the stage of being an observer and become companions, you forget the Father. Practice playing your part as an observer. There are 4 special lines of fortune sparkling on the forehead of each child. First is the line of the divine birth. Second is the line of sustenance from God. Third is the line of the godly study. Fourth is the line of selfless service. Although all 4 lines of fortune are sparkling on each one's forehead, a difference is visible in the sparkle. Because of the difference in their sparkle and in the lines being steadily extended, there are very few who have been experienced a steady increase in all 4 lines from the beginning up to now. In between, the line of fortune in some aspect has broken, or the sparkle has either reduced or become unclear. When they look at the lines on people's hands, they say that the lines on some people's hands are broken. Some are constant, some are clear, and some are not so clear. So BapDada also continues to look at the children's lines of fortune. All of you have taken a divine birth, but the line of the divine birth of some is broken or not clear because they do not constantly follow the dharma of the birth. What is your dharma? What is your karma? You know this, do you not? All of you Brahmins are moving forward by receiving sustenance from God, whether you are surrendered or whether you live in households. You are moving along according to the Father's directions. What would you householders say? Do you eat what you have earned, or do you eat from that which belongs to the Father? You eat from what is the Father's because you have given everything you have to the Father and it belongs to Him. Does it not? Even if you are earning, do you hand over the income you have earned to the Father, or do you use it for yourselves? You are trustees, are you not? So a trustee does not have anything for himself. In being a householder, there is the consciousness of mind, whereas in being a trustee, everything belongs to the Father. Even though you prepare food yourselves, you believe that you are eating Brahma Bhojan. Whom do you offer bhog to first? You offer it to the Father, do you not? To offer it means to eat what has come from the Father. You eat Brahma Bhojan even if you use something for your children. You do that according to directions. Just as the surrendered brothers and sisters use their minds, bodies, and wealth in different tasks, in the same way, those who live on the household path also use their bodies and wealth for something while considering it to be entrusted to them according to the Father Srimad. You do this, do you not? There isn't dishonesty. That is, you don't mix the dictates of your own minds with that which has been given to you in trustee. Do you? So all you Brahmin souls are receiving godly sustenance. Sustenance is given to you in order to make you powerful. What is the practical form of the sustenance received from the mother? The child became strong. So you have all become master almighty authorities with the sustenance given through Brahma, the mother. However, some of you children use the powers all the time, whereas others do not use the powers you have attained. That is, the sustenance you have received at all times. That is, you do not put the sustenance into a practical form. This is why, even though you receive the most elevated sustenance, you remain weak and the lines of your fortune are broken. In the same way, take the line of the study. The aim and objective of the study is to claim an elevated status. The Father, the teacher, teaches the same study to you all and he teaches you at the same time. Nevertheless, not all of you have the same intoxication or status of the elevated Brahmin life and study, because you do not constantly keep the status of the angelic form and the deity form in your awareness. There is a difference in each one's line of fortune. The same applies in the line of service. Father Brahma reminded you of the speciality of service in the blessings in the final moments of the corporeal form. Be incorporeal, viceless, and egoless. You cannot give the fruit of service to any soul without stabilizing yourself in the incorporeal state, because the arrow from the soul strikes souls. If you are not constantly stable in this stage, the ones you serve are not able to become constant embodiments of remembrance. In the same way, for being viceless, if you have any trace of vice, it will not allow another soul to be transformed from the Shudra clan to the Brahmin clan. That soul will also have to labor, and this is why that soul will be unable to experience the fruit of love constantly. The meaning of serving with humanity is to be an embodiment of that fruit and bow down. Without humanity, there cannot be renewal, that is, there cannot be success in service. To put these three blessings, incorporeal, viceless, and egoless, into practical service constantly is what is called the unbroken line of fortune. Now check all four lines of fortune. Are they unbroken and constant, or are they broken? Are they clear or unclear? You have become the lucky handful out of multi-millions, but you must become the few out of those. Those who are the few out of those multi-millions will be respected by all and become worthy of worship in the future. The sign of those whose lines of fortune are unbroken is that they are even now loved by all of the Brahmin family, because they are respected. Everyone's blessings make the lines of fortune of the elevated soul sparkle. So ask yourself, who am I? So did you hear what Baba saw today? People of the world say that God is the sustenance, that He is the bestower of life, but they don't even have the introduction of the bestower of life. Whereas you say with intoxication how God is the bestower of life and the sustainer. You also receive sustenance through Brahma, the mother, and you have become worthy souls by following the Father's elevated instructions. The Father makes you children worthy, and the mother makes you strong. So you have both of these experiences, do you not? Acha. There are more from the Gita Pathshalas who have come. So who are the ones from the Gita Pathshalas? The ones who listen to the knowledge of the Gita are Arjuna. So do you listen in the consciousness of being Arjuna, or is Arjuna someone else? Do you consider yourselves to be Arjuna? So always listen whilst experiencing being Arjuna, and that God Himself is especially giving you the knowledge of the Gita. So all of those from the Gita Pathshala will become number one. Listen in this way and you will go ahead. The Gita Pathshalas are good to keep the teachers busy. The Gita Pathshalas make you tour around and also keep you busy. Very good expansion take place too. They require less labor and are more helpful. This is the greatness of those from the Gita Pathshalas, is it not? This is why the Father loves those from the villages. Maya also comes in large forms at the larger places, whereas those from the villages have the Maya of villages. Therefore, those of you from the villages are very good. Where have the greatest number come from? Acha, wherever you may be from, all of you are at this moment Madhuban residents. What is the permanent address of all the teachers? It is Madhuban, is it not? These are shops and this is your home. So, which do you remember more, the home or the shop? Some remember the shop more. Even when they sleep, they only remember the shop. But all of you can stabilize your intellect wherever you choose. Even while living at a center, you can be a Madhuban resident, and while living in Madhuban, you can be a server. Do you practice this? Think about it, and you will be able to stabilize in that stage in a second. This is the speciality of the teacher stage. Your intellects are also surrendered. Are they not? Or have you surrendered them just for doing service? A surrendered intellect means you are able to stabilize it wherever you choose and whenever you choose. This is the sign of your speciality. You have surrendered with your intellects, have you not? Or is it that you have only half surrendered your intellects and fully surrendered your bodies? Some teachers say that when they sit for yoga, instead of becoming soul conscious, they remember their service. It should not be like that, because if at the final moments you think about service instead of becoming bodiless, you will fail the paper of a second. At that time, there has to be the stage of just one Father, incorporeal, viceless, and egoless, and of not remembering anything else. This is the final stage that Father Brahma created, completely incorporeal. When you start doing service, you would be in a corporeal form. Therefore, let there be the practice of creating whatever stage you choose whenever you choose. Otherwise, you will be deceived. Don't think, at least I did not have a bad or sinful thought. It was only a thought about service. However, this means that there is no controlling power. If there is no controlling power, there cannot be ruling power. You will then not be able to become a ruler. So practice this from now on. You have to practice this over a long period of time from now. Do not be flippant about this. So that the teachers hear what they have to practice. You will then be called the teachers who follow the Father. Always keep Father Brahma and the three blessings in front of you and follow them. This is easy, is it not? These last blessings are very powerful. If you constantly keep these three blessings in your consciousness and put them into practice, you will definitely have a right to the Father's heart throne and the future kingdom. Acha, to all the children who are constantly knowledgeful and powerful like the Father, to the fortunate children whose lines of elevated fortune from the bestower of fortune are constantly clear, to the special souls who are equal to the Father and have received the three blessings from the Father, to the ones who constantly move ahead with their sustenance and study of the Brahmin birth, to the eternally fortunate children, BapDada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. To a group from Maharashtra. Do you always experience yourselves to be full with all attainments? You never became empty, do you? The Father has given you so many attainments that if you accumulate all of those attainments in yourselves, you can never become empty. It isn't even a question of anything for just this birth, for the attainments of this birth will be with you for many births. Since He has given you so many, that they will also last you in the future. How can you be empty at this time? If your intellects remain empty, there will be fluctuation. If something is not full, it wobbles. So, the sign of being full is that Maya has no margin to come. It is Maya that makes you wobble. So, does Maya come or not? That she enter your thoughts? For half the cycle, you have experienced the kingdom of Maya and you are now going to your own kingdom. When you become a conqueror of Maya, your own kingdom will come. And the easy way to become a conqueror of Maya is to remain constantly full of all attainments. Do not remain deprived of a single attainment. Have all attainments. It should not be, I have all of this, and it doesn't matter if I don't have that one thing. If you lack anything in the slightest way, Maya will not leave you alone. She will make you wobble in that area. So, let there not be any margin for Maya to come. If Maya comes and you then have to chase her away, time is wasted doing that. So, have you become a conqueror of Maya? Do not think that you will become that in 2 or 3 years. For Brahmins, the slogan is, if not now, then never. Now, according to the speed of time, anything can happen at any time. Therefore, become intense effort makers. Acha, blessing. May you be a conqueror of attachment and will all your treasures as well as your time and thoughts. Explanation. Just as everything is willed to children, in the same way, when you make the Father your heir and will everything to him, you will receive willpower. With this willpower, your attachment will automatically be finished. Just as Sakar Father fully willed himself in the same way, all of you have to will the treasures of your awareness, time and thoughts. That is, you have to use everything according to the Srimad for service and you will become a conqueror of attachment and free from bondage. Slogan. In order to be loving to one another, imbibe the virtues of easiness and tolerance. Om Shanti